Hi everyone. So today we're going to start a little mini unit on geometry. And geometry in third grade means that we're mostly looking at quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral, see that's this word right here, quadrilateral, has four sides and four angles. And an angle is the space right here in between the two sides. So that's an angle, here's an angle, here's an angle. I try to remember that a motorcycle with four wheels is called a quad, and a quadrilateral has four sides, so that helps me remember. We're going to be looking at different attributes of these quadrilaterals, and an attribute is just a rule or something that helps us to describe something, and in this case it's quadrilaterals. So a trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel sides, and parallel just means that if you were to take this line and if it were to just extend out forever, it could go forever, then these lines, these two lines would never ever cross. They would just run next to each other, which is called parallel. And in a trapezoid, you have two sides that are not parallel. So if these two sides were to run forever in both directions, they would cross at some point. So those two sides are not parallel. A parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides. So this is one pair of parallel sides, and this is another pair of parallel sides. A rectangle has four right angles. That means they meet at a 90-degree angle. We said that the angle was the space in between the lines. So this space right here is 90 degrees, or a right angle. And it has four corners. A rhombus means that all the sides are the same length. And in a square, it has also four right angles, just like a rectangle, but in a square, all the sides are the same length. So in question number 1, it says this figure is a rectangle, but it is not a square. Why? And we can look right here and we can see that's because a square has all four sides are equal, and in this rectangle, these two sides are longer than these two sides. I just want to look up here at this example. They're telling you the meaning of convex and concave. So convex are angles that point outward. So you see this one goes outward, this angle goes outward, this angle goes outward. Concave are angles that point inward, and I think of a cave, and a cave goes in, so this is kind of like a cave. It's concave. So over here it says draw two different quadrilaterals that are not rectangles, squares, or rhombuses. So I could draw a trapezoid, right? And I'm once again my imperfect self, but I'm going to try and make these lines parallel. And then I'm going to connect these two. So I have a trapezoid here, and I could also draw a parallelogram. So I have these two sides that are parallel, and then these two sides that are parallel. And once again, maybe not perfect, but you get the idea. Here it says write as many special names as possible for each of the quadrilaterals. So I'm going to say the names because I think it would be really hard for me to write them, but write as many special names. So this is a quadrilateral. It's a parallelogram because it has two pairs of parallel sides. And I think that's all the names that I can see for this one if I look over here at my examples. And right here we have a rectangle because it has four right angles, but I also see a parallelogram here because it has one pair of parallel sides, two pairs of parallel sides. So this could also be a parallelogram. Down here, I see two pairs of parallel sides, so that's a parallelogram. And I'm just guessing, but it looks to me like each side is equal, so that could also be a rhombus. And here we have a square. It has four right angles and all sides are equal. This could also be a rectangle because the definition of a rectangle is that it has four right angles or square corners, and this does. So that's it for today for our first lesson in geometry.